All right. Now we're going live. And it's double trouble. And we can't even watch ourselves right now because I'm about to type. Well, crap. I ran out of storage space on that. Why? Because I had intended to delete the big file off of there while recording it. And I decided trying to do live. And, like I said, this is going to be great when it all cascades. Alright. We got that done. Now. Oh, yeah. Come on. Let's see. There it is. That's that double file. Now we can get back to what we were up to. There we go. Double Trouble Part 2. Or Part 3, or Camera Crazy Complex Creations from this content. I don't care. I'm sitting here watching 3 screens. I'm watching this screen, that screen, and then I'm watching this screen on that screen while I'm watching that screen over there. I'm watching myself, watching myself, watching myself, watching myself. Hey, oh, here we go. Oh, I wasn't expecting this. This is just too good. Oh! I wanted to run the camera app on that screen, so I had 2 of me on 2 screens on that screen. But 2 programs can't use a camera at the same time. If I had that other webcam, I could split the programs and the hardware, but I missed my other webcam. That would have been so perfect. So I have to get another webcam. Like almost the same priority as getting an SD card for that thing. Like there ain't no way around it now. So let's get back to what I was doing. Boy, this is so complex. Look at what I am doing with these cameras and recording using 2 different YouTube channels, 2 different devices, 2 internet connections, 3 screens, 3 cameras, and 1 human body with multiple personalities. So, okay, that's the only problem with this little setup, that just it just will not stay level. I keep wanting to just bounce out of being fucking level, and all I wanted to do is just stay. Alright, fine. Want to do this to me? I'll fix this shit right now. Watch this. Think you're better than me? I'll show you who's better than you, than who. didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. But let's give it a try. Maybe we come up with something really creative. Not really. What? Well, but maybe workable. Maybe. Ooh, that is kind of interesting, isn't it? Did I find a more permanent spot for my phone? I think so. I think I gotta get me, because this one here, the button thing's broken on it anyway. Even though that's the thing I like about LG, you can program it to, to do auto shoot and stuff with hand motions. Something the other phone companies just don't seem to understand. But now I got the motivation to get another selfie stick. And like I said, I want to get one with one of the flexible necks, because this one's good for more professional shooting, but it's not. It's dynamic, flexible. But that makes it perfect for this. If I make me a little mount, I make me a little mount right about here. Then I'll have a little yellow pole coming up. So I can have the screen somewhere about here, and then I can work. Anyway, I had something I was doing. Now I've got 3 open windows of Google Chrome. One has that 22 plus tabs spreading the spectrum of child abuse, brain disease disorders, and the healthcare system and government hating us for it. Oh, good, it's recording too. And that's recording. Good. So far, so good. Okay. Anyway. So I got that one. I got this one with 2 windows open, which is me watching the live presentation from this morning. Oh, and then I got this one open over here, which is the actual live stream now. So we go back to the live stream from this morning, and maybe I can pick up where I left off before I got distracted. All right, come on, stereo.
Consequences of hospital bed closings, emergency room boarding, using prisons as mental hospitals. We have more mentally ill people locked up in one jail in 44 fucking counties in this country than all the fucking psychiatric hospitals combined. We are locking up child abuse victims for mental illness brought onto them by pedophiles, and then we're tossing them in a fucking punishment torture chambers that are reserved for those pedophiles that did that to us.
Yep.
Why? Because the seriousness of our situation is so fucking hardcore, and they took away our way of solving it.
Yep.
They took away state mental hospitals, and they didn't fucking, like I said, make policy to protect babies from being beaten and abandoned by abusive parents. No wonder 2/3 of the homeless are just mentally ill people who can't get treatment. Because like me, you go somewhere for treatment, first thing they do is manhandle you to the floor and hit you with a fucking psychotropic instead of just talking to you and listening. Oh, yeah, it's bad, guys. It's really bad. And if I'm having these problems on my level, I can only imagine what the confused victims. What I can't imagine because I was one of those for the longest time,
Yeah.
and it's taking me almost 13, 14 fucking years of nonstop dedication to figure out there's no way I was wrong, and Dr. Pan has been a fucking demon from the beginning. Like I said, if I'm sitting here just picking this thing apart, overlooked in the undercounted the role of mental illness in fatal law enforcement encounters, treatment of persons with mental illness in prisons and jails, a state survey, mental illness on trial, criminalization of mental illness. I'm taking this fucking shit for real. When I go stand up in a courthouse or on a public venue for public address, I have my fucking shit together, and they ain't gonna have a fucking clue is what to do except just and listen.
Yeah, for real. I had something else I was gonna say, and I just totally I got all wrapped up and playing around and and still that was good. That was probably one of the most powerful sections right there. The police protect pedophiles. They take the product of pedophilia and punish them by putting them into the prisons with the pedophiles to be abused to death by those that gave them the mental illness that they're being incarcerated for to begin with. Gone. And state mental hospitals would solve it all. Asylums. We desperately need them. Or at least diversion centers. I've heard about those. I could have saved so much trauma and emotional scarring and damage and continued disability had diversion centers existed instead of militarizing the police against my eccentric behavior, criminalizing public disturbance, and blaming it on me. I'm doing my best to uphold a full-time overtime job, self-medicating in complete confusion, all the while these pedophiles got away with beating me to death, and then these doctors just tell me it's all my fault. And the medication that works is the worst medication to take. And I can't be right, because if I am, then I'm fucking batshit crazy and I belong in the fucking mental hospital. But I don't deserve to be in the mental hospital because I'm that crazy. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Like I said, my only wonderful recourse is the fact that millions and millions have been spent and could very likely continue to be spent just building my political agenda and activism for a lawsuit to make me a million or billionaire in the end. I am the ultimate capitalist because I do understand rights and I respect them, including my own. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Oh. So yeah, check this out, man. I love this. I'm getting so good at these descriptions and presentation. I ask, how? I don't have nobody in my chat. Bummer. Oh well. How can I be a Chinese American professional specialist doctor of neurology? How on earth can Xi Jinping be a Chinese American professional specialist doctor of neurology? That is his legal title and registration and certificate. His doctorate, his degree. It's professional specialist doctor of neurology. You saw that last video. How much of a specialist was he? How much of a professional was he? How much of a doctor was he? Fucking didn't even grasp the entire complex concept, including neurology. He fucking failed everything. He failed his country, China. He failed our country of America and our planet Earth. He fucking failed professionalism. He failed specialism. He failed doctoral. He failed neurology. Xi Jinping is a fucking 5 or 6 category failure. And I'm a 5 category chronic domestic severe child abuse survivor missing part of his brain from birth, who dropped out of homeschool at 12 years of age and has not a drop of formal education past somewhere in my 12th year of living on this planet. Not a drop of it. How can he be this professional specialist doctor of neurology, but yet I've used the term doctor for myself a couple of times. Yeah, I'm my own doctor. I have to be, because nobody else is doing it for me. Yeah, but you don't have a degree. You didn't go to college. Well, neither did the person that invented the college that invents the degrees, right? So if somebody else can invent it, why can't I? Well, because you're a retard. Oh, motherfucker, you just violated my fucking rights as an American with disabilities under that act, bitch. It's on now. That's what I'm saying. You have to be on top of your game if you don't want to be bullied as a victim. Knocking over anyone that stands in my way. I'll fucking shit you. Sometimes I need to apologize. Sometimes I need to admit that it ain't right. Sometimes I should just keep my mouth shut. But it always sinks so low. Sometimes I still feel I'm walking alone. Damn right. Walk on eggshells on my old stomping ground. If there's really no one left to turn me around. Isn't that another familiar face? Too drunk to figure out they're faded away. Sometimes I need to apologize. Sometimes I need to admit that it ain't right. Sometimes I should just keep my mouth shut. But it always sinks so low. Sometimes I still feel I'm walking alone. Come together like a foot in a shoe. Only this time I think I stuck my foot in my mouth. Thinking out, didn't act anything. Knocking over anyone that stands in my way. Sometimes I need to apologize. I love that song. And same with that Boulevard of Broken Dreams, man. I'm just such a Green Day head. It always has been since I heard that first song. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. And am I just paranoid? Am I just stoned? I went to a shrink to analyze my dreams. He said it's like a sex that's bringing me down. I went to a whore. She said my life's a bore. So quit my wedding cause it's bringing her down. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. And am I just bad or am I just dumb? You asked me to control, so I better hold on. Oh, I walk these empty streets on the boulevard of broken dreams. Don't know where it leads, but it's only me and I walk alone. I walk this. What's fucked up and everything's alright. Check my vital signs. I'm still alive, but I walk alone. My shadow's only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone up there will find me. To him I walk alone. I walk the empty street. Oh, man. What's fucked up in it? Oh. I'm about to cry. I love that music so much. And I'm crying. I'm straight up crying, guys. What a complex cascade of emotions, and look how just like it's nothing. I handle it all day, every day. And this professional doctor couldn't even handle an ethical dilemma, the simplest ethical dilemma. Do you blame the child abuse victim, or do you blame the pedophile for my mental illness and disease? And that doctor decided to blame me and let the pedophiles go. I think that's why I cry so much. And the same with the judge and the lawmakers and the police. Militarized police. All just abandoned. By the ones that's supposed to protect me, just like what happened to me as a child. The parents are, my biological parents are supposed to be those police designed to protect me. And they fucked the shit out of me. And the police and the judge and the lawmakers and the government designed to protect the children from these pedophiles do the exact opposite. Just like those parents did to me to start the child abuse in the first place. Oh, no wonder it's cyclical, systemic, rampant, and sees no fucking end unless humans like me fucking do something about it. So that's what I'm doing. In any way, shape, or form I could possibly come up with every little ounce of fucking strength I've got left over after managing my own fucking lifetime chronic disability disease. It is what it is, folks. Oh, I gotta admit, it's kind of hard not to, especially after like 2 days of giving up on that synthetic cannabis. I sure wouldn't mind having a gram or two of it right now. If I could bring all this back in and just a mind expansion. Right now I'm in this emotional intensity and balance and level it out with that mood stabilizer. That legitimate fucking, at least for me, mood stabilizer. And don't let anybody ever say anything else but that with how this has been working as a crazy backwards method to solve my problem. But you know what's funny? After research, some groups agree cannabis, marijuana is a very good, especially entry-level medication to PTSD or, you know, comorbid symptoms of it. It's not going to fix PTSD, but at least it'll take care of a lot of the symptoms. Guess what was right next to it? Synthetic cannabis. Not as a separate classification, but as the identical classification, which means I was right all along. JWH, the real synthetic cannabinoid that was created in a laboratory, does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it does it really well and for next to nothing. Why? Because it literally is synthetic cannabis. It's not trying to use an opiate to get a benzo effect, because that's kind of what everybody makes it sound like. Anybody who uses spice is basically using heroin to get a benzo effect, or the opposite, using a benzo when they need a painkiller. Wrong! Synthetic cannabis and real marijuana in this classification are identical chemical substances. The way they interact with antagonists and change receptors and neuron firing orders and everything, identical in the brain, parts of the brain. So when they say smoking spice is any worse than smoking marijuana, they're batshit crazy. What they're saying is fake synthetic cannabis or synthetic cannabis, which was only created the moment the government criminalized that synthetic cannabis. The moment they did that, well, now it's synthetic cannabis, and only because the government just took away a mood stabilizer, a very potent mood stabilizer option over the counter, away from the people. So now they're right back to the doctor and the gone hospital system. Sounds great. Outpatient, diagnose, put some pills in, and some training, and people take care of themselves. Well, their situation is so bad they can't take care of themselves. They need those hospitals for those people that bad. People like me that are what they call borderline, we are the ones that would be saved by that kind of intervention system, and we are the ones who suffer the most because neither of them exist. We can't get into the hospitals because we are not that shit crazy, but we can't get any symptom relief at all because we're not batshit crazy. Oh, it really is just unbelievably horrible. So, how can he be a Chinese American professional specialist doctor of neurology? By law. Easy. He went to a police policy college or university to earn his degree. Let me break this down, though, with some parentheses. Easy. He went to police policy, a Marxist, communism, leftist, Democrat, etc., college or university, which is public education, to earn his degree, which is literally just permission to legally deal drugs to anyone of personal choice. That's all a degree in doctoral anything is. All it is a contract that if you agree to put in 4 years into our indoctrination station, we'll give you permission to selectively choose who gets to use the medication. Winner, winner, chicken dinner for everybody with the child abuse victims. And anybody who actually gives a damn about them. Yeah, so a doctorate degree literally means nothing more than government permission to legally deal drugs to anyone of personal choice. That's why I respect the drug dealers. That's why I give them as much of my business as I can afford to give them every fucking day in every way. Because at least they're giving me of fucking service for what I'm putting into it. These doctors are fucking me in the ass to the point of fucking surgery and getting paid to do it. And I'm the victim! Now to the infinite of exponent of infinity! And it's all just because of the government saying, yeah, you put in 4 years and you put in this much money. All right, you get legal access to be a pill vendor. You get to choose who uses. Why? Why does he get to choose who uses and not me? What's the difference between him and me? Well, he had this much money spent on public education and conformed to those standards. Therefore, he's good. He gets to make the decision on who's good enough to not suffer. You didn't do it. You're not good enough. Therefore, don't even bother talking to him because he's not for you. He's for the people that can afford him. But wait a minute. When this all started, I could afford him. And he failed me. And I did afford him. And he failed me. He stole from me. I want justice. I want what he stole from me back. And I want the government to force it out of him. Nope. He's got that doctorate degree. He's protected. Just like the pedophiles. By the police! Ah! Protected by the judges! Who work for policymakers, politicians, law deciders. Somebody who decided that this electrically assisted bicycle that a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, was legal. And in an instant, that officer turned those blue lights on and asked for my ID. And I handed him something that didn't have a driver's license and couldn't show him a piece of paper and a metal plate on the back of that vehicle showing that I had complied with the legal standards set by our government to have any rights at all. Just like that. In an instant. All of it just gone in all future planning. Totally altered for the rest of my life. All because this fucking Nazi fucking decided to make policy on the side of the fucking road. Fuck you, bitch. Todd Sears. I'm coming after your ass, bitch. Oof, let me calm down. Man, I still ain't got nobody in here. I don't care. Like I said, this isn't so much for, I mean, it's as much live, but it's also as much for the future. Like I said, I'm expanding. I'm mind opening. I'm trying new ideas. I'm trying to see how this camera situation and my, I want to say psychology, my internal psychological reaction to the different form of broadcast. And I think it's working. Like I said, I've already got something else made out of this new creation, created this, which is creating this desire to choose to use synthetic cannabis. Why? Because I actually feel accomplished and I want to have a good time. But because of that dopamine receptor deficiency, that feeling isn't that satisfying and it's very empty. It feels like there's something missing. So I'm going to take a hit of cannabis or cannabis, you know. And the same thing doesn't happen with cocaine or meth or anything else but like marijuana and stuff. But I do get some dopamine to make up for the deficiency, and everything becomes enjoyable again. Is that addiction? Because if it was, don't you think I would have already been on the phone calling him, trying to secure this stuff? And instead, I just it's already off my mind, and I'm already working on ways around any sort of form of chemical dependence. Because I'm that fucking resilient. I can accept, need, use, and abuse. I can accept the whole spectrum. But I can also accept the spectrum that I'm not bad. Most of you are. I'm only doing this because I can't go to the pharmacy and buy the right medication for the right price. That's it. That's it. The doctor has the legal right to keep me away from that medication, so I found a way around it. That's right. Because I am Joshua. I am the man. I am Alpha. And that's just the way it is. So, let's stop fragmenting and compulsing and get over this obsession. Don't work that way without medication. And like I said, I'm sitting here spouting it off like it's fucking common sense and been understood forever. And it kind of has been. Alright. So, my hashtags to this doctor and his video about this doctor and all the policymakers allowing him to get away with selective legal medication. Hashtag indoctrination station. Hashtag babies' lives matter. Hashtag stop stigma. Hashtag decriminalize developmental disorders. Hashtag beating baby beaters. Beating baby beaters. Yeah! Yeah! Sorry. Oh, goodness gracious. Ooh. Oh, that was straight up abusive. Whew. But I feel relieved, even though my body's injured. And you guys say emotions don't mean anything. I just caused myself 2 different injuries in that managed panic attack. Almost an emotional seizure right there. In fact, it probably was a form of legitimate seizure, emotional, psychogenic style right there. Just fucking saw that fucking shit again, right in front of the fucking camera. Most of you are going to be like, well, that's not a seizure. That's because you don't understand what a psychogenic seizure is. And until you do, don't even start that shit unless you're ready to get in that comment section. Have a man-to-man debate and conversation about this. No stupid shit. The moment you get stupid, I should test you once, and you don't pass, fuck off, bitch. Next. Just like that fucking pill vendor. Just like the police department. Just like the judge. Just like the court system. Just like the hospital. Just like the lawmakers. I'll fuck you, bitch. Next. 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 Fuck you, bitch. Next. I'll 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 fuck you, bitch. Next. Then there's Judge Ward. I'm coming to get you, slave. You're going to work on my plantation. Do something about it, Jim. Come on, bitch. Do something about it, you little fucking pussy. But you won't. Sit there in your fucking robe with the term honorable, even though that's the fucking opposite. That's why when I go into that courtroom and they say, all rise for the Honorable Judge Jim Ward, I get catatonic. Raise your right hand. And then he starts talking to me. Again, I start catatonic. Oh my God, he's batshit crazy having a seizure. No. You guys lied to me. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. What do you mean, Joshua? Hold on, let me get my evidence first, because this is court, and nobody believes a fucking thing you say, only fucking policymakers. You ain't got that authority. You ain't got the right to turn people in for criminal activity. You got that authority. Like I said, you can make the fucking shit up off the top of your head, and the police are there for 5 cars in a row to militarize you into that prison. So, what I was getting at. Look at this fucking shit. To a child abuse victim. On his way to church. Oh, and I had somewhere I was going to go with that too. But by the time I went to go get the paper for evidence, that's the problem with this ADHD. I'm so fucking worried about proving every little aspect of everything to everyone, every moment of every day, that I can't get big goals accomplished because I'm fragmenting to just prove everything to everybody, every moment of every way of every day, because that's all you fucking do is like sit there with a fucking magnifying glass watching me, waiting for me to make that fatal mistake so that you can fucking criminalize me forever. And I'm like, but I'm not a criminal. I'm just a child abuse victim who wants to honor and worship God and be thankful for my life on this planet. So, I think it's time to fucking... yeah, hashtag beating baby beaters. Oh. Woo! Now listen to this. I am a homeschooled retard who dropped out before 13 years of age, tried his first and mostly only mood stabilizer of marijuana in an experimental, controlled environment surrounded by love and respect. All of this after all 5 categories: severe chronic domestic child abuse, missing 20% of my brain at birth. So who's the real man and who is actually the coward? Fucked up how they have all the legal authority they can never earn for themselves. Yet I've earned my place more than 1,000,000 times over. Yet my legal access to that medicine is a far away romantic dream. I'd call it straight up psychosis too, when reality becomes fantasy because a doctor is prejudiced. Amen. Amen. Okay. Actually, you know what? I think that's a good stopping point. I think I'm going to hit stop on that and hit live again. That way I can at least keep these things from being hours long and just make them more like 30 or 40 minutes long or something. Or, who knows, one day maybe I'll go 6 hours straight in a row. And then you guys can say it's going to be methamphetamine. But I'm going to fucking drink this right in front of the goddamn camera and prove to every one of you motherfuckers that it's not methamphetamine. It just resembles it. Because I have a brain disease from child abuse, and which involved severe substance abuse. I was fucking injected with all kinds of fucking hard drugs when I was a little child. That's why I'm so fucking absolutely but batshit crazy about hypodermic needles and even about getting high experimentally and stuff. Like I said, that's so bad. They hand me 90 days worth of the benzos and I make it last over a fucking year. Because I'm so fucking paranoid, careful, and cautious with any type of fucking controlled substance except that cannabis. And the only reason why? It's proven safe and effective, and I'm well experienced with it. The crazy thing is I'm so good at all of it now, I can do any controlled substance and just sit here and just fucking psychoanalyze it for you, what I'm going through, without emotion. And when you can do that, because you ain't got that you've already got no dopamine and too much adrenaline, you know, those drugs really fuck up the balance on normal people. That's why they get addicted. They get addicted to that imbalance because it's so off from what their norm is. That's why regular medication could be considered addictive to people with severe disease, because they treat the situation too perfectly with little to no side effects. And if you aren't prepared for that, then yeah, you're setting yourself up for failure in the long run. But in a situation like mine, where I literally have obtained innocence, purity, integrity, honesty, love, respect, and worship, but again, I'm an addict, even though I don't take the fucking pill. I just know reality says it would work if I took it. Just because of that, I've been called an addict. For real. I've been like I said, look, here, look, fucking drug stream. Meth, clean. Cocaine, clean. Marijuana, clean. You know, fucking opioids, clean. Benzo, clean. Fucking, what other drugs? Ecstasy, euphoria, alcohol. Clean. And be clean for fucking ever. So, Doc, can I please get that pill so I can go home and go to bed? Go to a fucking treatment center right now, you addict! Calm down, doctor. You're the one acting like an addict, buddy. Big crack. Hold him down. Here comes that needle. Not shitting, you guys. It's like that. For real. It's like that for real. Doc, look, I'm clean. This disease has been proven. Can I have the pill, please? Please, can I please have the pill for my legitimate proven disease that I have remained drug-free and clean and sober to prove that it's not anything but the child abuse? So please, can I have some symptom relief of the child abuse? Please, doctor, please. Haven't I earned it yet? Nope. Why not? Because you haven't admitted you're an addict and haven't gone to that 30 to 90 day inpatient lockup. That's because I'm not a criminal or an addict. I'm a baby abuse victim with a severe mental disease that's just seeking appropriate medication. Everything else is solved except going to the store and buying that pill. You are the one keeping me from doing that, doctor. You're fucking crazy. No, doctor, like I just said, you are actually the one sounding crazy. And if you stop and repeat what you just said to yourself, would you do that for me? Would you give me that? At least humanity, empathy, at least repeat what you said to myself, what you said to me. Repeat it twice if you have to yourself. And then you tell me if there was anything wrong with what you just said to me. He's under Bay Crack. Officers, hold him down. I'm not fucking kidding you. That's why I learned when I go in for intake, I just get catatonic. Are you a psychiatrist? Then you are unacceptable to me. Next. And I will just sit there for hours doing that. Are you a certified psychiatrist? Prove it. Oh, the proof is, I agree that your proof is evidence to suggest that indeed you are certified for acceptance of me. Or, I do not believe you are certified. Next. And I'll just sit there for fucking months doing that shit. So what do? At that point, they give up and give me the fucking benzo and send me home.
But again, that was a decade ago, and before I'd gotten over this guilt trip that medications aren't bad. It's the people that beat the babies that are bad. Oh, it really is some brain damage, buddy. And females, it really is some brain damage. I have a brain disease from not being treated for my brain disease. And then telling me that is my fault that I didn't get the treatment for the brain disease when, again, I got it all figured out. I got the money to go to the store and buy it. It's you, doctor. It's you. Dr. Big Rectum, officer, hold him down. Here goes that psychotropic. Fuck! So I got to restart from scratch again. So I'll go back in for another episode later. I'll try something different. All right, look, I'm going to try to be as normal and personal as possible. Now do I get to deserve to see a psychiatrist? And at this point, though, that going, gone actually worked to my benefit because all the beds were filled up and it looked like it was going to be a couple of days of me sitting in this fucking space this big, pacing, talking to myself, unmedicated, with a seizure disorder, when all I really did was come in there for a prescription to go home and take care of myself. And so I'll just sit there for hours. I ain't talking to the psychiatrist yet, so I can't go nowhere. Then when I talk to the psychiatrist, like I said, the conversation at this point in life goes great up until it's like, all right, good, you agree with me. Now can I have my prescription? Nope. Why? Because the government says I'm not allowed to give it to you. Why? Because it's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do, and you're the exact perfect candidate for you. That's why you're not allowed to have it. That makes no sense. Joshua, what do you really understand about Marxism? Oh, shit. Beep. Connection just got made. Now I get it. Helena! Motherfuckers, that's what you guys are doing. Y'all just the fucking Gestapo leading the Jews to the fucking gas chambers. That in your pipe and smoke it too. For real. I'm an innocent Jew just engaged in worship of the God deity of my choice. Oh, that don't work for the institution of communism. Nazi. Nazis. That is Nazism. What these doctors are doing to child abuse victims, what the police protecting pedophiles, and lawmakers on-demand, instant policy, especially with this war on drugs. Fuck shit. Oh man, I really fucking love and hate that fucking stereo. Look at that. I said I was hungry fucking more than an hour ago. And completely gone. I'm just now getting that. Uh-oh. Time to put something in my stomach or I could be in some trouble. Oh, so ridiculous. All this craziness. Just because I can't go to the store and buy medicine. And if I get caught with that medicine without that doctor's permission, that government authority from the indoctrination station, I get caught without it, I'm a criminal, and I'm a felon, and I'm an addict, And I'm a violent, out of control abuser. And I've got all kinds of my mental illnesses and everything else. But the mental illnesses were caused from substance abuse, not the other way around. And then I end up in prison for the rest of my life. Mentally ill, well, I'm going to say getting beat up by the pedophiles, but I'm going to be honest with you. I end up in prison with pedophiles. Like I said, Nicole, David, and Merlin, I got you back. I'm going to be in prison for life for crimes against other humans. I'm going to earn it. In fact, look at me smiling. I'm looking forward to getting beat as an abuse victim into the prison system because I can't go to the store and buy a pill. And then when I'm stuck in there for decades, I end up in severe isolation, which is where I'm going to end up belonging because it just won't stop murdering pedophiles all day, every fucking day. And that's a population community. They're going to see what I'm doing and what I'm doing it for and against who I'm doing it for. And like I said, it's going to be a fucking riot. Civil war up in that fucking prison mental hospital indoctrination systems. I'm going to fucking just spend the rest of my life murdering pedophiles and child abusers if I go to prison for being filled with the Holy Spirit. That's why the Bible teaches us, though, to be prepared for. Be ready for war. Try to maintain peace, but never be afraid for war. Never. Always be prepared. Huh. That time was intentional, but the first time, I'm wondering if I'm starting to get and I've noticed some tics and stuff. And I think what's happening is I've always had the tics. I've just been so well with that mask, covering them up. Now that I've just dropped that mask, the tics are starting to show up. But because I've done such a good job hiding them, now I'm noticing the tics because they are showing up as a new feature. But I think it was an old symptom. I think I've always had a form of Tourette's or something similar. I'm just so good at motor coordination because of that. Again, always watching myself from someone else's point of view, nonstop, 24/7, all day, every day. Because the moment I fucking slip, I'm going to prison for the rest of my fucking life to get raped by pedophiles. So I better not fucking slip even once, even the slightest. That's why only thing on my fucking record, 2 false fucking battery charges that I could prove with evidence. A fucking false resisting arrest. I called for a crisis intervention trained officer and explained I was having a seizure. Him and 4 other officers jumped me, literally fucking assaulted me. They did that right in front of my whole fucking social support, local social community. Those officers got so lucky they didn't get jumped. That's the poor part of town. That's the dark side of town. That's where the people who have mental illness go to be free, to be themselves. Those police showed up on that territory and knocked one of their like I said, I'm becoming a local celebrity. End of story. And for the right reasons. There was about 8 to 10 people at least like this around those officers. And I'm not kidding. When I got out of jail for that shit, got back into the community, everybody was just like, Joshua, we can't believe what we saw happen to you. Do you know how hard it was for all of us not to jump those officers? You know how much restraint and how much debating amongst ourselves the moment we were watching this going on right there on the side of the road? You know how much we worked to control our cravings as a community to keep from jumping these police officers when we saw them do that to you? Because we saw what happened. You're getting wrongly convicted of something. You start having a seizure. You call for a crisis intervention trained officer, and you get tackled to the ground. They break your iPad. They fuck your bike up, and they haul you off to jail for it. All for a false battery charge. Those cops almost got their fucking asses stomped or killed. Because none of them got nothing to fucking lose, really. They get better treatment in prison than they get on the street. Just like me. Tough as hell and don't want to conform. Oh. I really do gotta eat something about that. Oh, I think I made myself sick. Oh, not eating and look at this, dude. I'm fucking covered. I'm drenched in sweat. Oh. And all I'm doing is just sitting here talking about this shit. Oh, and the coffee. You know, I'm having a little trouble coughing. One is because I'm yelling so much because I'm just overly emotional with no real outlet. But like I said, I ran out of this shit a couple days ago, so I'm just fucking dealing with reburn and ash and resin and shit. Oh, and when you do that, you don't really use water. And the last couple of hits I got, I ended up getting some of that fucking dust up in my mouth. So I guess the filter on the bottom of the pool wasn't working. So that's what that's from. That's honestly just because I didn't get what I paid for. Part of that's my fault though, because I didn't keep up on my end of the bargain. I didn't bug hit the hell out of him until he got that party product over here for me. And I could, like I said, I could do something about it right now if I want to just click, send him a text message or call him. That's not what I want to do. I want to be his friend, not do business with him. First of all. 2, like I said, I just want to sit and party for a couple hours, maybe a day or two. And I have access to it. What am I doing? Nope, get right back to work. Get the fuck right back on to figuring out why the fuck you're addicted to benzodiazepine even though you never fucking took the medication. Why the fuck are you still having seizures even though the doctor said they're not real? Why after 14 years are you still going through all of this? And why has this all progressed in a specifically identical linear manner to the way it's described in the DSM-5? Why? Because they're Nazi Marxist pill vendors, selective pill vendors, and I'm a child abuse victim. That's why. I mean, it is what it is. Let's, oh, guess what? Look at that. I didn't even eat. All I did was sit here and shake my feelings out to a positive. I'm not even hungry anymore. I don't care about food no more. I'm ready to just fucking just hit this end stream and start another live.